Welcome to Cinema Bites, your go-to for movie recaps in a flash. Big twists, epic moments, all in just minutes. The second part starts with a female zombie, one of her group who isn't accepted by them. A problem occurs between them, and Brooke bites her. But her brother Barry stops her just in time and gives her a bottle from their group that isn't accepted. Another problem happens between them, and Brooke bites her. But Barry stops her in time and gives her a bottle containing human blood. This blood returns her to her normal self, just like us. We see that Brooke isn't a regular zombie. She's a hybrid, meaning she didn't fully transform when the virus first hit her, because her blood resisted it strongly. But when things get out of control, she has to drink human blood. Brooke has the unique ability to control her disease in an amazing way. She can also control other zombies and command them, which gives her tremendous power in times of danger. Meanwhile, Barry's brother has a negative blood type and is one of the few remaining humans. On the other side of the desert, we meet the former soldier, Reese. Reese manages to take advantage of the situation and lives in a protected bunker, working on zombie blood. He discovers that zombies produce a gas from their mouths that is flammable, and this substance is also present in their blood, which allows him to use it as fuel. Reese literally lives comfortably, exploiting the zombies to the fullest. Every morning, he starts with exercise, takes a strange yellow pill, and then goes out to hunt zombies, which doesn't take much time since these creatures are always around his fortress. He captures some zombies and uses them as spare parts. When their flesh is still fresh, he moves their arms and legs and uses this movement to run generators. He also trains fighting with them to keep up his physical strength. One day, he finds a hybrid zombie riding a motorcycle near his fortress. He controls her and threatens her with a gun. When he discovers she's a hybrid, he knocks her out and kidnaps her, then takes her to a government lab set up to try to find a cure for the virus. The main doctor in the lab is called Spider. He conducts various experiments to find a cure for the zombies one day. The lab is well secured with many soldiers, and Reese always brings them whatever they need to help save humanity, dreaming of the world returning to normal. In return, they give him the yellow pill, which temporarily immunizes people against the virus, the only reason Reese hasn't gotten infected yet. That day, they give him a picture of two hybrid sisters and ask him to capture them. Reese believes he's contributing to making the world better, so he works hard at his job. We then see the two hybrid sisters, Maxie and Grace, driving on their way to a secret hideout. Suddenly, Grace's zombie instincts take over, making her violent. She tries to control herself but fails, and Maxie helps her just in time by giving her blood to drink. At that moment, Reese is hiding in the cornfield, waiting for them to get close, and attacks them, flipping their car. Grace gets out and attacks Reese, and a fierce battle ensues. But since Reese is a trained soldier, he defeats Grace in the end. He doesn't stop to check the car and looks for the other sister, leaving with Grace. After a while, Maxie regains consciousness, gets out of the car, and starts searching for Grace until she discovers she's been kidnapped. Reese brings Grace to the lab, but she suddenly wakes up as a zombie. This weakens her power and makes her attack stronger. She manages to corner Reese, but he convinces her to drink blood to return to her normal self. In the lab, we see Spider using a hybrid zombie to develop a treatment that temporarily stops the transformation. He also injects himself with the treatment, and we discover that the Colonel is infected too. That's why they use the blood of hybrids to make a drug that slows down the transformation and keeps them alive. The whole thing is for their own personal benefit. As long as they capture more hybrids and use the antidote every day, they won't turn into zombies. Spider is also working on a secret side experiment. After a while, Reese arrives at the lab and delivers Grace to the Colonel before heading home. On the way, his car breaks down, and he uses zombie blood to get it running again. During all this time, Maxie, Grace's sister, has been stalking him. While he's distracted, she hides in the car to catch him off guard. Later, when he returns home, he distracts the zombies and enters the bunker. Suddenly, the lights go out, and Reese cautiously goes out to restart the generator. Suddenly, he finds Maxie in front of him. She doesn't give him a chance and knocks him out. When he wakes up, she threatens him to find out where her sister is. Either he cooperates or she'll kill him. With no other choice, he agrees to take her to Spider's lab. On the way, Maxie notices Reese taking the yellow pill and asks him what it is. He tells her it's an antiviral that protects him, so she tells him it's made from the blood of the poor people they kidnap. He doesn't believe her, tricks her, and throws her out of the car, then shoots her and captures her. In the end, Maxie is tied to a chair and taken to the Colonel. The soldiers take her and treat her violently, which Reese doesn't like, so he becomes suspicious of them. He argues with the Colonel, and the fight escalates into a shootout. In the end, they shoot at him, and the soldiers escape with Maxie, but the infected Colonel and the soldiers chase them, using their weapons to bring him down. When Reese wakes up, he finds himself hanging from a tree, and the Colonel mocks him, saying the enemies killed him alive, and decides to leave him for the zombies to finish off. Reese tries his best to hold on to the tree, but he can't hold on for long. A zombie approaches and is about to bite him, but suddenly they freeze in place. Reese is surprised and looks up to see Brooke and her team. It turns out Maxie, Brooke's friend, brought them to rescue Reese because he had saved her life before. They take him hostage again and ask him to tell them where Grace is. Reese, who all this time thought he was helping to find a cure for the virus, is shocked to find himself surrounded by Brooke's zombies and under threat. He is forced to reveal everything he knows about the Colonel and Spider. He had thought everyone was working on a real cure, but he was just a victim being exploited. He asks to help them get rid of Spider. A little while later, the group storms the lab and discovers the terrifying truth. They are analyzing it to manufacture the yellow pills, and the blood of the attackers is used to make a serum. They use the Colonel and the Spider to stay alive. The boss, who was angry all the time, feels rage and kills the lab supervisor. Brooke, who feels injustice and anger at what is happening, summons her army of zombies to attack the lab and stop the horrific experiments taking place. They strap explosive belts on the zombies and send them toward the soldiers, killing many of them. Maxie enters through the ventilation shaft, reaches Grace, disables the security system, and opens the doors for them. In the middle of the battle, Brooke confronts the Spider, who reveals his latest invention, a zombie cyborg, powerful and difficult to defeat. Brooke tries to use her power to control the zombies and direct them against the cyborg, but fails due to its great strength. In the end, the cyborg attacks Brooke violently. She is exhausted and unable to resist the powerful cyborg, wishing for a miracle. In the last moments before he kills her, the miracle happens. The cyborg stops, and the reason is that Grace controls the Spider's arms and prevents them from moving. The mind control technology works on him because he is also half zombie. Here, Brooke takes advantage of the opportunity and attacks the cyborg, but he quickly recovers and returns to the fight, stronger than before. Brooke is in real danger but gets an idea. She uses electricity and overcomes the cyborg. Meanwhile, Barry and Rice are in a fierce fight with the Colonel, who is very strong and about to kill them, but Maxie appears and saves them. The situation escalates when Brooke begins to turn into a zombie and creates chaos, and they are unable to control her until Maxie finds a blood bag and gives it to her, and finally she calms down. When she comes back to her senses, she realizes she has bitten her brother. At the same time, the Spider takes Grace and escapes, also setting the lab to self-destruct. The group has 30 seconds before the lab explodes, and Brooke decides to stay with her brother, who has turned into a zombie. She sacrifices her blood for Rice and Maxie's survival. At the same moment, the Spider was drawing Grace's blood to prevent himself from turning into a zombie. In that moment, the Solider discovers that the Spider is also a zombie. Meanwhile, the Colonel attacks the Spider, who becomes enraged, moves faster, and kills them. When Rice and Maxie reach the hideout, Maxie finds that Rice has lost consciousness. Rice confronts the Spider and begins to fight him. But since he has attacker's blood in his veins, the Spider easily defeats Rice. The Spider is about to kill Rice, but Rice recovers, overpowers him, and kills him. But she doesn't stop there. She tears his belly open savagely and angrily. In the last scene, Rice finds himself about to turn into a zombie and decides to commit suicide, but Maxie stops him. She gives him the yellow pill and asks him to join their team to fight evil. In another ending, we see Brooke and Barry coming out of the ruins of the destroyed lab unharmed, but they have completely turned into zombies. The movie ends. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to get more new videos. See you